Selling a business is one of the most important financial and personal decisions an owner will ever make. That's why it's vital to seek the expertise of a sophisticated business broker.
Number one, you need to have a proper valuation. You need to know as a seller what's realistic. And sometimes there's a pretty broad range as to what a business might sell for, and that can depend on a lot of factors. We suggest to sellers that they take a year or two and clean up their financials before they go to market. Is your space clean? Is it presentable? We want to make sure that you have the right personnel in place. If the buyer feels like the business is going to go away once the owner takes over, you're simply not going to sell the business. You want to make sure that when you're trying to sell your business, you have proper representation. Otherwise, the deal may fall apart, and that might have been your best buyer. Private equity is a large buyer of businesses these days. They're not your friend. They don't love being part of what they call a process, right? And that's what we create. We create a process that will try to get you the best price and the best terms that we can possibly get.
At CGK Business Sales, the mission is clear: to provide premium guidance and full-service support that ensures every step of the process is handled with care, expertise, and maximum results.
I felt like with my background and with the people that I've hired, our backgrounds, our collective backgrounds, we could really help small and medium-sized business owners who sometimes get taken advantage of by sophisticated buyers.
Once we've gathered all the background information on the company and done some kind of detailed interviews with the sellers so we understand that company well, is to produce the marketing materials, a confidential information memorandum, to start a conversation with the buyer, get them excited enough to ask more questions, to perhaps want to do interviews with the seller. For a larger deal, we'll produce what we refer to kind of affectionately as a teaser, which is sort of a limited amount of information, but it's enough for buyers to want to pursue it more if it's within their space, and get them to sign that non-disclosure agreement. Selling a business can be stressful. If you have a lot of the questions answered and both the seller and the buyer on the same track, it makes for an easier process.
One of the biggest differences at CGK is how deals are brought to the market.
I believe at this level of the market that we bring a unique process to the table, and that's our auction process. We are going to have multiple buyers look at your business, and then we're going to have an auction deadline, and we're going to have people give us their best price and their best terms at that auction deadline.
It's not just about finding a buyer, it's about finding the right buyer and ensuring owners get the maximum value for their life's work.
One of the first things that buyers usually ask is, how long will it take for me to sell my business? Usually we say we can find buyers anywhere between 0 and 3 months. The key is to find the correct buyer to make sure we get the right fit.
We're really happy that we hired CGK Business Sales. The whole process from start to finish was very smooth, very professional.
Everything came together for us to make the sale. I was also impressed at the speed at which things were done.
I would, and I think I speak also for Oscar, definitely recommend CGK Business Sales. For me, really is the fact that you're bringing that Wall Street financial background into the scale of small business.
Sometimes I think sellers overestimate how complicated their business is, and that they think the only person that can buy their business is another competitor. That often is not the case. We want to attract your strategic buyers, private equity, and we also want to attract high net worth buyers as well. This is a very complicated deal. In these deals, you're not selling a hard asset. You're selling sometimes a lot of thin air or goodwill and intangible numbers. We are creating the marketing materials. We are finding lots of buyers. We're doing Zoom calls with those buyers. We might eventually take it to the point where they may want to do site visits kind of off hours or on weekends. From there, we're going to collect LOIs or letters of intent. We're going to pick one of those as our winner. We're going to go into a banking process, a legal process, a due diligence process, and all of these things are happening together at one time. You need to know 5 or even 10 years in advance what your exit plan is and how you're going to execute that. We have worked with businesses for 3 to 5 years sometimes before they want to sell. We're happy to do that. We want to make sure there is a good outcome for you and a good outcome for the buyer, quite frankly. Even though we represent you, we want to put your business in good hands.
If you're interested in learning how CGK Business Sales can help you, visit their website, cgkbusinesssales.com, or see this segment again on InsideTheBlueprint.com.